Whatever you do, watch this before you have that first perimeno conversation with your GP. Hi, I'm Andy and welcome to my Perimeno diaries, keeping black women in the perimenopause conversation and letting younger women know what is potentially coming down the line. In previous weeks, I have talked about the symptoms and many of the things that I've experienced leading up to finally having a conversation with my GP. And I did that probably 2 or 3 years ago, actually having a meaningful sit down with them to say, like, I need to do something about this. But there are many things that I wish I had done before I had that conversation. So I want to share them with you so that if you're about to have that first consultation, you can do those things first. Number one, make a double appointment. If you are in the UK and you are talking to an NHS GP, they allocate about 10 minutes per consultation. And the kind of unspoken rule is that you really only talk about one problem at a time. And even though the overall problem that you're going in to talk about is perimenopause, it points to a lot of kind of smaller symptoms that all contribute to what you're going through. So the first thing that I would say is if you can, book a longer or a double appointment, because perimenopause is complex. The other thing I wish I had done before having the conversation with my GP is to list my symptoms. So either to write them down myself or find an online source that already lists known or suspected perimenopause symptoms and just tick against the ones that I'm experiencing. Because in the moment when you're actually in the room with the doctor, it can be quite emotional, especially if this is the first time that you've actually spoken to a medical professional about what you're going through. And so you don't want to find yourself getting flustered or forgetful, given that, you know, perimenopause can make you flustered and forgetful. So having that all written down is super helpful. The other thing I wish I'd done is have a sense of a most favored outcome, like what I would like to see. So if HRT is my goal, then, you know, to look at that. If I want to get onto antidepressants, then have a little bit of understanding of what that might mean. Whatever outcome you think would work for you, to have a sense of what that is, but also be open to what your medical professional can recommend and prescribe for you. And the last thing I would say is just be prepared to advocate for yourself. Don't allow the GP to railroad you into solutions or prescribed medications that you just don't feel comfortable with. And the very last thing is to say that it can be a really emotional time going in and having this conversation. So if you can, have somebody that you can talk to about it afterwards, or even before and afterwards, just as a sort of pressure release of the emotions that might have built up in anticipation of the conversation and afterwards. That's all for now, but next time I'm going to talk about HRT. Just know you're not going crazy. You're not alone. I hear you, I see you, and we're in this together.